Hello my angels, welcome to TJS Tarot. For those of you who are new to my content and or channel, my name is TJ. I am a psychic, divination reader, and witch, and I'm so happy to have you here. If you are returning to my channel and or content, and you're not new to my things, welcome back. I am just as equally as happy to have you here. Today we are looking into what is the purpose behind all of this pain. So if you can probably tell, I sound a little congested because I'm going to be very open and honest with you. I've been going through it lately, and I felt called and inspired to do a reading. And yeah, for anyone who needs comfort, for anybody who has been going through a difficult time, a difficult period, a difficult life, and is in need of inspiration and comfort and a friend, I am here for you. And the reading that we are looking into today is, you know, what is the reason why we are going through so much pain and turmoil and turbulence. And the reason why I say we is, you know, this is for me too. And, you know, if I'm going through a hard time, I know so many other people are going through a hard time, but, you know, we don't have to be alone in this all the time. So I'm doing this for all of us. And I'm going to try very hard not to get emotional and or cry, but I am not making any promises. Moving forward, if you feel the need to pause the video to meditate on the choices we have here, this is pile 1, 2, and 3, please feel free to do so. Keep in mind, you know, this is for a large group of people, so make sure you are using your better judgment and your own discernment regarding, you know, situations, and take what resonates, and if it doesn't, then leave it for the next person. And we are going to start out with oracles that I have pre-shuffled, and then I am going to clarify with tarot, you know, whatever information that we need to hear. And this is a 100% comfort reading. You know, what is the purpose behind all of the turbulence and pain and heartache that all of us have been going through. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with pile 1, and I will see you there. Welcome, pile 1. If you chose this beautiful purple crystal, I believe it's a calcite or a quartz of some sort. Please correct me if I am wrong. I would like to know. At first, I kind of thought it was lepidolite, but it's a little too, I don't know. It doesn't look like lepidolite to me. Anyway, if you chose this crystal, this reading is for you. Let's go ahead and look into what is the purpose behind this pain that you have been going through. So the cards that I'm using are all comfort cards. I have an angel therapy deck, I have an Archangel Michael oracle deck, and I have an Archangel Raphael deck, and then I have a Mystic Sisters oracle deck, which mainly focuses on like goddesses, very powerful goddesses. So from the Archangel Michael deck, it says, ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation. We have explore your options. Oh my Lord, why can't I move these? Third eye chakra. It is safe for you to see the energy of love in all forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. If you get nervous, focus on service. Put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. Hopefully you can see all these. We have improving health. And we have Madame Soleil. So I'm going to start with Madame Soleil because I have the deck right here. So these, I haven't worked too much with these cards. Like on my downtime, I haven't really, I haven't dove into these cards too much just to get like super familiar. So I still have to, you know, use my little guidebook. So let's go ahead and see what Madame Soleil has to say. Okay. Generosity and magnanimity. Madame Soleil, the sun goddess, lives in the light, and there is nothing difficult or complicated about her. She emanates truth, clarity, and creative energy, and she inspires generosity. Drawing this card is very fortunate and reminds you that the more love you give, the more love you'll receive in return. It is a call to open your heart wide and let the light of the sun goddess in. Allow it to radiate back out of you towards others. Practice a warm-hearted approach to every situation you come across. You'll find your whole outlook will become more cheerful, optimistic, and idealistic. All right. So, for those of you who chose this pile, I get the feeling that you may be intuitive yourself. You may dabble in the arts that I dabble in. Maybe you are just very empathetic, very compassionate. You could be just a straight up empath. You could just like feel be very clairsentient, very sensitive to energies, very sensitive to other people around you. Maybe your third eye has been opening. Maybe your intuition has been magnifying lately. I also get the feeling that you have been going through a huge transformation, to say the least. You've been leveling up in ways that is a little, I don't want to say scary, but maybe a little bit alarming and overwhelming at times, because you feel as though that you are on an upward climb. And with that upward climb, there are a lot of responsibilities that come with that. And, you know, you could be a light worker. You could be an indigo child or a crystal child. You could be, you literally could be anything. You know, you are very divine, and you are very gifted, and you are a gift to this world. You really are. With that said, the reason why you've been going through so much pain is, to say the least, growth. This is growing pains. And, you know, these messages that I'm relaying today, it is not my intention to make you feel bad about yourself. It is not my intention to make you feel like you are failing in any way. And believe me, I understand that feeling more than you would know. You know, I really am holding your hand through this message. You know, and I really do feel a lot of, you know, disappointment and pain, and maybe even betrayal. Maybe even, you know, maybe you've lost a lot, you know, and take that as, you know, maybe you've just lost a lot in life. Maybe you are starting to realize who you can trust, who can't you trust, who is really there for you and who isn't there for you. And, you know, there's a sunshine within you. With the Madame Soleil here, your guides, your angels, the divine, the universe is telling you to not dim your shine because of all the pain that you've been going through. I'm also picking up that this is a bit of a blessing in disguise too. I feel like this is making room for even more joy, you know, because sometimes we need to go through hardships to experience gratitude. And when I say gratitude, you know, when we are going through hard times, when those good times happen, and when those beautiful moments happen, and when those happy times and that joy pours in, it is so much more meaningful. And it's so much more appreciative because, you know, we've been through hell. And we've been through, you know, so much that has made us feel like we're dying. You know, and symbolically, we kind of are. You know, we're going through a death, we're going through a rebirth, a transformation. You know, we really do go through hell before we really, you know, get the benefits of heaven. Your guides want you to know, especially Archangel Michael, they want you to know that you're not alone. If you do feel alone at this time, that Archangel Michael is with you. And if you feel like you need to be more protected, if you feel as though that you just need someone on your side, that you need a confidant, that you just need somebody around you, Archangel Michael, and trust me, Archangel Michael is amazing. I used to talk to him every morning before I would go to work, and he really helped me through a lot of confidence when it came to work. And now, my everyday, you know, work life is probably one of my favorite parts of life, to be perfectly honest, and one of my favorite parts of my daily routine. So if you feel as though that you need just someone, or you need that strength, you need that support, you need, you know, that shoulder to cry on, you need to just feel someone on your side or by your side, Archangel Michael is around you, and you can call him literally at any point at any time. And if you picture, you know, a white light surrounding you, that is a symbol of protection, and Archangel Michael is a symbol of protection with that said. With improving health, a lot of this pain is, you know, you releasing a lot as well. Improving health, you're healing. And I think I said this before, but I keep hearing it in my ear, you know. And this has also been a common theme, or a common, you know, phrase that I've heard, you know, just for the past, you know, 5 or 6 months, where I literally, it has been just like constant in my ear, and it's growing pains. You know, you are moving outside of your norm. You are moving outside of what you no longer fit into and what no longer serves you. And I see someone smiling. If you're the type that always has a smile on your face, or if you're the type that is just like always happy, if you're the type that knows what it feels like to be low and not feel great, and you are, you know, always trying to make someone else laugh, they're reassuring me to tell you to not lose that, and that you will smile again, you know, and you will shine again. I'm also picking up on like Leo energy too. Maybe you have Leo placements. And let me tell you something about Leo placements. I think I may have mentioned this before in a past video that I did. But so Leos and Cancers, they are luminaries of the zodiac. So Leo is ruled by the sun and Cancer is ruled by the moon. And when they are at a deficit, especially Leos, you can really see an impact in a freaking gargantuan way. So any Leo placement, if they are going through a hard time, if they are, you know, low, if they're depressed, if they're lonely, if they are just sad, it is so obvious, you know. And this is telling me that your pain and your sadness is very obvious to see from other people, because you are the type that smiles a lot. You are the type that lifts other people up. You are the type that, you know, always has a smile on your face and is very optimistic and positive and bright and keeps the energy light. You know, and it's okay to go through sad times. You know, it is not your responsibility to be happy all the time. It's no one's responsibility to be happy all the time. That's not normal, you know. But you will find joy again. And the sun will shine again. And your sun will shine again. And everything will be okay. If you get nervous, focus on service. This is, there's a couple things that I'm getting from this card. One of them is, you know, self-love. You know, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling sad, do something that you genuinely enjoy. Do something that you know is going to be constructive, not destructive. Do something that is really going to make you feel better and not feel worse. I'm also hearing make sure you're eating, and make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're giving yourself everything that you need. Don't neglect yourself at all. Don't malnourish yourself. Don't neglect yourself at all. You need to make yourself a priority. You know, even mother yourself or baby yourself, you know, at this time. And with how can I make the world a better place, you know, under here, connect with people who are going through the same thing as you. Because I feel like that alone, you know, you really connecting with someone who is going through the same amount of pain or, you know, similar situations, you know, leaning on each other can be very beautiful, and it can be very therapeutic. It can be very, make you feel less alone. You know, being there for somebody else while at the same time they're there for you it's a great feeling, you know, and it's productive, you know. So focus on service. These are just, you know, things to do that are productive instead of destructive. And with third eye chakra, I feel like maybe deep down you kind of know why you've been going through so much pain and upheaval. I think deep down you know that there are just better things for you. And you know, if, you know, I can only speak for myself. If you're anything, you know, like me, I'm a severely sentimental person. So when things change, and or, you know, people change, situations change, I get genuinely very sad, because I get very sad because I genuinely appreciate and enjoy all of the good things that happen in my life. So when things change and, you know, I feel as though that they're getting, you know, taken away from me, and maybe you resonate with that. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, but what I was saying before, you know, you may know that, you know, deep down, maybe the things that are hurting you are the things that you really need to let go of. And that can be in any situation. Those could be, you know, people. You know, they could be family members, they could be friends, they could be people that, you know, they could be people that you work with, they could be, you know, it could be a job. It literally could be anything. You know, anyone and anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and use some tarot to see anything else. See if anything else resonates. Please and thank you, Spirit, for connecting me to my beautiful pile ones. And what is the purpose behind the pain that they're going through? What is the purpose behind it? What is the purpose behind this pain? I literally just heard stop and think. This is telling me that you have been forced to look at a situation, or you've been forced to heal a lot of things. Yeah, this is a situation that could have just come out of nowhere. You know, because with the Wheel of Fortune, that, you know, when it's right side up, it's a wheel that's constantly turning. It's constantly, you know, it's fate. You know, things, you know, up, down, left, right. Like, it is just the constant flow of life, of things. You know, you have good days, you have bad days. And it's, you know, a little bit of a gamble. But it's also like the natural flows of systems. And when it's in reverse, that is something that is like a complete stop. That is something that, you know, there's, you know, like a traditional clock, or like a pocket watch or something. The gears, how it just like stops. It's very similar to that. And something stopped, or something, you know, broke, or something made you stop and really think about things in a different way, or think about things altogether. You know, it could have been things that you never really paid attention to, or you didn't give enough credit to, or you didn't give enough attention. And now it's the time to really, this could have to do with your inner child as well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also picking up on therapy. If you're not currently going to therapy, I do recommend it. You know, whatever works best for you, but I do recommend just like talking to someone, talking to a professional, you know, just having that professional opinion on things, you know, someone with an unbiased viewpoint. All right, anything else? What is the purpose behind this pain for my group ones? What is the purpose behind it? I'm also hearing like education too. Maybe it's just for you to learn, you know, learn and grow. And I feel like it's more processing. I feel like it's more like processing information. Because I'm getting like maybe you just found out news, or you just like, it could have been an epiphany too. I'm also picking up on like epiphany energy. You know, the reason behind this pain is, you know, an epiphany you had. And it's a hard truth. And of course it's painful. You know? You know, the truth is very necessary, you know, regardless of, you know, what it is. You know, it's still necessary, and it's still important, you know, because anybody could lie to you, but it takes a real, you know, situation and person to tell you the truth and to be honest. What is the purpose behind this pain for my pile ones? Please and thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. So the purpose behind this pain is for you to pick yourself up, to keep moving forward. I feel like these setbacks are a little bit of a test for you. May. Okay. Yeah. You know, maybe in the past, you know, something like this happening to you, it made you give up, or it made you, you know, go the other direction or turn the cheek. And this is not to sound like a cliche, you know, where, you know, this is supposed to make you stronger or anything, or, you know, whatever. But it really is, you know, it's a real testament to your own inner strength and self-love and worth. You know, it's how you handle all this, and with what kind of, you know, grace and responsibility. You know, picking, you know, the whole purpose behind this pain is, you know, for you to keep going, to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on to the next thing. And just realize that even though this period, the star kept coming out. That is so crazy. And I even thought too, when I was shuffling, I'm like, I wonder if the star card is actually going to come out, because I kept seeing it, but it wasn't actually like coming out, and it finally did. So the star card, that's all about wish fulfillments, dreams coming true. Sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, but, you know, you going through all these hardships is a real testament to your strength and really believing in yourself and knowing that you are capable of, you know, fighting these demons, you know, and loving yourself and taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, you know, picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, healing, so you could be happy and you could be where you're supposed to be. You're meant to be happy, my darling. You're meant to get everything that you've ever wanted, and then some. You know, and I know it's hard. I know it is. And I send so much love your way. You have no idea. But please know that all of this is going to be worth it at the end. You are going to smile again. You are going to be happy. You are going to feel complete. You are going to feel loved and heard and taken care of and nourished and nurtured. And you're going to feel like at least someone is on your side. I genuinely feel like it's more people, but you're going to feel whole again. And if there's something that you want so badly, I feel like there's at least one thing that you just want so badly, and you just want it to work. You just want it to happen already. It's going to happen. You just, you need to take care of you, and you need to do what's best for you. You know, feel your feelings, cry, process. Now, there's one thing that I will say, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, you need to deal with your shit, or you need to deal, and it's like, no, you don't need to deal with anything. You need to process. You need to process all your shit. You know, dealing with it is basically dismissing it. Processing it, that's being responsible, and that's being constructive and mature and accountable too. So with that said, to summarize, the purpose behind this pain is for you to grow and to be able to receive upgrades. You know, it's I say this to my friends, you know, whenever they're going through a hard time. It's always darkest before the dawn. You know, you really do have to go through a lot of pain and a lot of hardship and a lot of sorrow before you really do reap the benefits of all the good things. And the reason why we go through all the dark and all the ugly is so it makes all the good things that much more worth it. You know, a lot of gratitude is attached to it. So I really I really hope that this was helpful. I really do. I wish I could give you a hug right now. I'm a hugger. I know not everybody is a hugger, but, you know, if you're not a hugger, then I'll give you a hand hug, or I'll give you a pat on the back or tap on the shoulder. Anyway, my heart is with you always. My love is always with you, my beautiful audience. And you will get through this. I know, and I believe in you, okay? You have my support. And if you ever feel the need to reach out, if you ever feel the need that you need a friend, or you just need someone to talk to, I am always around. Please feel free to comment or message me if you are able to. I'm actually not sure if you're able to message on YouTube, but if you are, please feel free to do so. Yes, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, and please comment down below if this does resonate or if this did help at all. I would love to hear from you. Many blessings to you. So much love to you also. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, my pile twos. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose the selenite little wand, this reading is for you. Selenite is actually one of my all-time favorite crystals. It is like one of the few crystals you really don't need to cleanse, because it is self-cleansing. And I think that's why I love it so much. It's very reparative. It's very, very healing, very grounding for me as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said before, we are starting with oracles, and then we are going to clarify with tarot as far as, you know, what's the purpose behind this pain that you're going through. I am using the angel, excuse me, these are all, you know, comfort cards, therapeutic cards. I'm using the Angel Therapy deck, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Mystic Sisters Oracle deck, which Mystic Sisters is primarily goddesses. So let's go ahead and get into it. So from your Archangel Michael deck, you got keep your eyes on your targeted intention. You're on the right path. We got Law of Attraction. Listen to your intuitive feelings. Crown Chakra. Hydration. You guys actually got the most oracle cards also. We got Initiation. And we got Luna Moth Goddess. So, right away I heard you are meant for so much more. Sorry, I told you I wasn't gonna promise anything as far as me getting emotional. I'm a Cancer Mars, and a majority of my first house is Cancer, so I'm a big crybaby. Sorry, I don't mean to stall here. I'm just getting like so much information. So first, your guides really want me to tell you that they're so proud of you. You may be doing a lot right now. You may be accomplishing a lot. You may be very motivated, very passionate, very dedicated to move forward a certain way. And you may also have like dreams and goals and ambitions, and, you know, have a clear set intention on what it is that you want. And, you know, Archangel Michael specifically wants you to know that you are on the right path. If you feel as though that you are not, you are. And it's just reassurance. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. With law of attraction and listen to your intuitive feelings. Again, this is upgrades. You are you're very sensitive, and your vibration is so high. And I feel like the reason why you've been going through so much pain is because you are you're moving into a different life. You're moving into a different energy. You are becoming who you're always meant to become. And you are attracting the things that are meant for you. So if you are experiencing any rejection, if you are experiencing any loss, any grief, or if you are losing anybody in your life, or if anyone is pushing you away, it's for a reason, unfortunately. Because you are, you're meant to soar. You're not meant to settle at all, by any means, in this life. You're meant to truly go after the things that you've always wanted. And really connect to a higher level of, a higher frequency. So let's read the crown chakra, shall we? It says, pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. Yeah, you were meant for so much more. And maybe in the past you have settled for less. Maybe someone or multiple people have made you feel as though that you are unworthy, or they've tried to bring you down. And now that you are finally recognizing your worth, your truth, discovering who you are, trusting yourself, being on your own side. You know, everyone around you who doesn't resonate in the same frequency is starting to trickle away, which in itself can be very painful. With hydration here, yes, they do want you to stay hydrated, but with hydration, it's also a sense of cleansing. So if you've found yourself crying a lot, make sure you are, replenishing those tears with water, with fresh water, preferably mountain or spring water. Has all the minerals that we need to get properly hydrated. But water is very rejuvenating. And it's so funny how we have the selenite here that is also rejuvenating. I'm also hearing cucumber water, lemon water, like make it fancy or make it special for yourself. Make it fun. But yeah, hydration, it's water is cleansing, and water is also a symbol of rebirth. With that said, you are going through a rebirth. I just saw, oh my gosh, this is also cohesive. So I'm recording this the Friday before Easter, and I literally just saw like someone coming out of like an egg, like an Easter egg. And I was like, oh my God, it's Easter in just like 2 days. So it's a rebirth. It's a resurrection. You are going through such a transformative time in your life, to say the least. And it is impacting you in such a huge way. And because it's impacting you in such a huge way, that's why you feel it so deeply. And I know it's overwhelming, and I know it's scary. And what initially made me really emotional when I was laying the cards down was initiation. The reason why you've been going through so much pain is, I don't want to say it's a test. I really hate, you know, that term, but it's a, you know, it's the last thing that happens before you're really catapulted. You're really catapulted like so far in life. And then with Luna Moth Goddess too, this also is what really tipped me off too. So oh, so sorry. I'm so emotional. So butterflies and moths are personally very important to me. They're very transformative. Butterflies represent the sun. So they both represent transformation, just different energies. So butterflies represent the sun, which is also, you know, masculine. And then moths represent the moon, which is feminine. So your divine feminine is going through a huge transformation. Oh my, so sorry. Let's go ahead and read it a little bit more into initiation. I've said this before, but this is like a newer deck that I haven't really played with on my off time. I only use them when I record. So every time I get new cards, they're usually like very new to me. Like I haven't seen them before. These two I actually have never seen before. They've never popped up. So let's see what initiation says. It says rituals, ceremony, rites. The initiate is on the threshold of a new reality. A magical ceremony is taking place that marks the beginning of a new phase. She may be unrecognizable to herself on the other side. Sorry, I had to pause the video just to take a moment. She has reached this moment through extensive study and ultimate surrender. She has earned the sacred rite of passage through determined effort. Drawing this card signifies that an accomplishment has been reached and a transitional period is about to begin. Though change can be uncomfortable and at times disconcerting, you may soon find your new reality feels entirely natural. You have been a dedicated student and have now gained the skills your new endeavors require for success. So sorry, my pile twos. I guess I resonate the most with your pile. So yeah, like I kind of hit the nail on the head with that one. Yeah, you're meant for so much more, my love. You really are. You know, you're outgrowing a lot of things right now. And you've done the work. Some of you may practice witchcraft also. I keep seeing, you know, this ceremony. Yeah, like your guides, the universe, your angels, archangels, they all recognize everything that you've done. And they are, they're making plans for you. They're making plans for you to get everything that you've ever wanted. And to be who you're meant to be. And share what you're meant to share. Oh, let's look into Luna Moth Goddess. I didn't even look into that one. are you? All right. Metamorphosis, natural transformation. The Luna Moth goddess bears witness to unfolding events and symbolizes the need to embrace the moment. The life of a Luna Moth is so very brief. Each phase of its metamorphosis is fleeting. Drawing this card reminds you that the only reality is right now, and to find joy and bliss in every moment you can. This card symbolizes the need to trust in universal serendipity, that you are on the correct course, and that every event has perfect timing according to its own nature. So I said this in pile 1. I think this is going to be a common theme throughout this, entire pick a card video. Growing pains. So I think a lot of stuff with the Luna Moth goddess. Yeah, so moths and butterflies, they are only alive for a certain amount of time, or a limited amount of time, just like us. And I think a lot of your pain comes from a lot of nostalgia. And a lot of your pain comes from knowing that things are changing. And it's scary and it's sad because there is some sentiment behind it. And it's I keep getting the feeling of like graduation. Like I keep seeing that, like a graduation cap. I keep seeing like graduating from high school, graduating from college, just like a very huge pivotal event in your life. You graduated to just a bigger part of your life journey, of your purpose, of your passion, of your goals, dreams, ambitions, destiny, especially destiny. But yeah, there's a lot of sentiment. There's a lot of sentimental value to everything that you are experiencing right now, because I feel like, and with listen to your intuitive feelings, I feel like a lot of this, and crown chakra, I feel like a lot of this already. I feel like that everything is going to be so different in just a matter of, however long. And that's what's making you sad. And it's very bittersweet, kind of those moments. It's like, well, I want to make sure I am able to say goodbye. I want to make sure that I enjoy this as much as I possibly can before everything changes. I also see, I don't know if any of you watch Friends. So the last episode of Friends, how, the whole 10 years of that show. So the whole purpose behind that show was, your friends are your family. So throughout your 20s, your friends are your family. They're the ones that you lean on. They're the ones that, have your back, who know you the best, who are there for you. And, as you grow up, things change. You start dating somebody, you get engaged, you get married, you have kids, you move on to the next phase of your life. And, at the very last episode of the show, the series finale, there's still so much love between all of them. But they're moving on to the next phase as far as, their new family. And I feel as though that you're doing the same thing. You're moving on to the next thing that you're supposed to be moving into. Oh yes, we still have tarot. All right, let's go ahead. Please and thank you, Spirit, for my beautiful pile twos. What is the purpose behind this pain? What is the purpose behind this pain that they're going through? So a lot of growth, a lot of growing pains. so we got the Lovers. We got the Queen of Swords. We got the Emperor. Holy moly. So I got Gemini, Aries, air sign in particular. So that's Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And she's right here in the middle. So I feel like, you know, the Queen of Swords is an intellectual. She's very no nonsense. She's very, think of a bit of like a lawyer. Like lawyers are just, everything is based on fact, not speculation or hearsay. Very logical, you know, quick-witted. Let's see. Yeah, the reason behind all this pain is for you to choose yourself. Is to choose what's best for you. Is to be the Emperor. To be in charge of you. In charge of your destiny, in charge of what it is you actually want in life. You know, to navigate your life and to be smart about it. And you are smart and you are wise. Because the Lovers, that's all about, you know, that is, you know, that is love, you know, true love, relationship or partnership. But if you look at the woman here, she is looking up at the heavens. You know, she's choosing her own inner guidance, you know, and whatever that inner guidance is correct, you know, which goes hand in hand with listen to your intuitive feelings. You know, the whole purpose behind this pain is to make a choice. To make a choice for you and you alone. You know, and to also be logical about it as well. Be smart. You know, I don't really see too much emotion attached to this besides, you know, the Lovers. You know, choosing love, but also choosing, you know, your wit and your intelligence, and then going after it, you know? So inevitably, I'm just getting like a lot of like balance, like a lot of balanced energy. You know, making that choice for yourself, you know, choosing love, whatever that may be. You know, being smart about it, also using your mind. You know, it's like, okay, this is like what I truly care about the most. This is something that I'm going to choose because it's true to me. Now let me be smart about it. Let me analyze it a little bit and be like, okay, how am I going to go about this? Is this wise? Is this, you know, the most, you know, logical thing to do? Let's look at it, you know, logistically. And then going after it. Yeah. So to summarize here, the whole purpose behind this pain is to choose you and to always choose you. To make the best choice for you. And when I say choose you, I don't mean, you know, go against like a relationship or, you know, anything like that. When I say choose you, that's, you know, being true to you. Doing what's best for you, no matter what that looks like. Taking care of you. Investing in you. You know, and giving yourself what you want. Giving yourself what you deserve. You know, and working for it. and reaping the benefits of it. I have so much love for you, my pile 2. And my heart is with you. So much love for you, my pile 2s. And I am so sorry that you're going through, you know, stress or grief or isolation, you know, whatever it may be, you know, growing pains, obviously. And I really feel for you, and I have so much love for you and so much compassion and so much empathy. And please know that if you ever need someone to talk to, if you just need a friend, or if you just, you know, have something to say because you just need to get it out, you just need someone to hear it or read it, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am a friend. I'm a friend to everyone. So if I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing what I do. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're able to like message through YouTube or anything, but you can always feel free to comment as well if you feel called to. With that said, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment down below if you feel called to do so. I would love to hear if this brought any form of comfort or help in any way. And I will see you in the next video. So much love to you, my pile 2s. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 3s. If you chose this crystal, then this reading is for you. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the past 2 piles were pretty emotional, especially pile 2, because I think that one was resonated with me the most. I'm going to be perfectly honest. As I said before, we are going to start with oracle cards and then clarify with tarot. The cards that I chose, I tried to use like the most comforting ones that I had, and those are my Angel Therapy deck, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Mystic Sisters. So the Mystic Sisters, those are primarily goddesses. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So we got be gentle with yourself. Detach from the situation. Be willing to forgive. Heart chakra. Meditation. And Kuan Yin. Oh, I just saw let go very, very big in front of me. So I'm going to be very honest with you. The reason why that you've been going through so much pain is because you're holding on to pain a little bit. This isn't all primarily what that is. I just wanted to preface that. You're very sensitive, my pile 3s. You're very sensitive. You feel things very, very deeply, and you love very, very hard, especially with the heart chakra card here. You know, with be gentle with yourself, I feel like you and yourself are very gentle. There's like a sense of innocence to you. There's a sense of, you know, you, at the end of the day, you don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to harm anyone. You don't mean to make people upset or come off a certain way if you do. I'm also picking up maybe some of you have a little bit of neurodivergence. I have neurodivergence myself, so I say that, you know, resonating with you. But I feel like the reason why you've been going through so much pain is because I feel as though, you know, your guides, the universe, maybe even, you know, Archangel Michael, is that you need to detach from a lot of stuff. I feel like you hold on to people, places, things, ideas, because you just, it does come from fear. you know, just needing to feel safe. And you may feel, you know, and even though, you know, the risk of wanting to feel safe is not benefiting you, obviously in more ways than one, but it's not benefiting you because what you're holding on to isn't necessarily good for you. You know, and this could be, you know, a situation, this could be people, this could be, you know, an outcome of, you know, whatever. And I feel like it's making you sick. It's making you so upset. And you're drowning a little bit in it. And I feel like it's because you don't really want to forgive. Because you've been hurt so much. You know, this could be like a level of betrayal. Maybe you were betrayed by like a friend, loved one, partner, family member, friend. And you could have felt like you gave so much. Maybe you were even blindsided by something. I'm also picking up on peace. Peace is really important. I'll talk more on that in a second. But you're really hurt by whatever happened. And it's more of a sense of disbelief. It's disbelief, like you can't believe that you are in this situation. You can't believe that this person of all people did what they did. You know, and even though this person did what they did, it doesn't define you. It defines them. And I think that's something you really needed to hear. They just told me that. Like, I feel like I was really called to say that. You know, people's, the way people treat you, or the way, you know, decisions that people make involving you, if there has ever been, you know, a pattern. It doesn't mean that you are less than, and it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you need to change in any way, or change who you are, change your heart, change who you are as a person. What it does mean, though, is that you do need to cut this out. You need to cut that. You need to cut those types of people out of your life too. You need to you need to start choosing love a little bit more. You know, and you may be holding on to this narrative, or you may be holding on to, you know, I feel safest when, you know, X, Y, and Z. So that's why I'm holding on to. There is something that you are holding on to so tight. And I feel like it's a sense of satisfaction that you need. So I'll give you an example. So say, for example, you know, I'm going to share mine. Let's get vulnerable here. I have often felt like I was never chosen. Starting growing up, you know, I never felt like my family, you know, my dad, my parents, you know, my family members never chose me. You know, never took the time to choose me, consider me, spend time with me. You know, choosing, you know, being chosen can mean many things to many people. For me to be chosen is to, you know, someone thought of me, someone considered me and my feelings, and you know, took action, you know, and I was dismissed a lot as a child, you know, and I spent a lot of time in solitude. I spent a lot of time in my room, you know, playing by myself, you know, and a lot of times I would, you know, go to my sister's room. I would go to my dad's room. I would go and see what my mom was doing. And every single one, you know, that I went to dismissed me in some way, till I made a complete, you know, circle back into my room where I had originated. So that in itself, you know, sparked a lot of creativity in me. So I became very creative with, you know, the things that I would do, the things that I would, you know, make believe. And, you know, I was kind of forced to become creative in a way from a lot of pain that I had experienced. So with that said, you know, I hold on to the narrative of I'm going to choose somebody, or I'm going to gravitate towards people who are unavailable to see if they'll choose me. You know, it's something to that degree. You know, you hold on to this narrative, or you hold on to this situation because you want that satisfaction and you want that validation of feeling better. You know? And me personally, I want that feeling of being chosen. But there are other forms of, you know, getting that satisfaction, you know, by choosing yourself, you know, and choosing to gravitate towards people who are available, you know, because the truth of the matter is my family just wasn't emotionally available for me. And that wasn't my fault. You know, and it's not up to me to continuously put myself in situations where, you know, I go towards emotionally unavailable people just so I have, you know, just so I get put into that position of them, you know, choosing me or finally choosing me. You know what I mean? So, yes, that is my level of vulnerability that I am giving you today. I don't think I've ever really shared that with anybody besides my therapist. So, pile 3, you should feel very special for me being vulnerable with you right now. Anyway, yes, so you, my pile 3s, are a diamond in the rough. You have a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit, and you see things differently. You know, and it's not your responsibility to constantly take care of other people. I feel like they really wanted me to tell you that as well. You know, and it's okay to find peace. Also, meditation is also going to help from, you know, detaching from whatever it is that you're holding on to so much. Meditation is going to bring answers. Meditation is going to give you that level of peace and groundedness and make you feel a lot more safe than you have been. Okay, really connecting with the higher realm, as well as living in the moment of your body. All right. Let's go ahead and look into Kuan Yin with my little book here. So, okay. Kuan Yin, compassion and empathy. Kuan Yin is the Asian deity of mercy and compassion. Her name literally means observing the cries of the world. She sits at the center of a mandala and can see every point of view at once. The action this card asks of you is to find a more transcendent perspective. Realize that when we make judgments or harsh criticisms toward ourselves or others, we are likely not taking the full story into account. We've all suffered, and when we are doing well, it isn't always easy to remember what it felt like during our rocky phases. We must try to recall the details, including all the sorrows and pain, and the courage involved in making a change. This allows us to increase our empathy and gain wisdom. All right. Another thing. So, with that said, with Kuan Yin, heart chakra, and be willing to forgive, I am not here to spread, toxic positivity or anything like that. You have free will. If you feel like you benefit off of not forgiving somebody, or it's not, changing you as a person, then by all means, don't forgive them. You do what is best for you. But I feel like for those of you who are so sensitive, and, as far as the forgiveness goes, like someone who really meant a lot to you, or even, if it was something, I don't want to say something not that deep, but if it was more of a situation as opposed to, someone being a part of your life altogether, if that makes sense. I really encourage you to have a huge heart-to-heart, just so you can see, just perspective, because the forgiveness, it doesn't just have to be, oh, that's okay. Like, it's not dismissing your feelings, and it doesn't mean what they did to you was okay. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness isn't, the ego tends to get attached to the idea of forgiveness because that's where our mind goes. And it's like, forgiving someone, it's like, oh, well, I'm letting them know that it was okay, what they did, and it's like, no, like it's not okay what they did, but you know what, forgiveness is all about, you're not going to carry the burden of what they did with you anymore, and with that, you carry another boundary, and it's like, okay, well, you made me lose trust in you, so my boundary is going to be X, Y, and Z. I forgive what you did. You're human. I know you didn't mean to do it, but you know what? I have to do this in order to make me feel safe. Okay, so let's go ahead and look into tarot. Please and thank you, angels, spirit. Please and thank you for catching my beautiful pile threes. What is the purpose behind this pain that they're enduring? What is the purpose behind this pain that they're experiencing? Interesting. I feel as though the whole purpose behind this pain is to really make you think about where your trust and your loyalties lie. I feel as though because you are so good-hearted, and because there is a sense of gentleness and kindness and innocence about you, I feel as though that because you love so hard, it's very hard for you to see things at face value sometimes because you love so much. So this is, a lot of this pain is just realizing that there are some people that aren't worthy of your goodness sometimes. And also, with that said, this is also to remind you that not everybody is as good-hearted as you. And not everybody loves like you. Not only are they not deserving of your goodness, but they don't understand and have that amount of goodness in them. So of course they don't understand it because it doesn't live within them. they don't identify. And I think a lot of this pain is just a little bit of a reality check too. And realizing, wow, there's really not great people in the world. And it's a hard pill to swallow, you know? And I think it's also, you know, just to remind you, you know, just because you care about someone or just because you know, you see potential in people, it doesn't mean that they're worthy of it. It doesn't mean that they're worthy of your energy, and it doesn't mean that they need to be given a chance. And it also means that you can't save everyone. You know, if someone is not willing to take the advice, or take the love, or take the opportunity that you are giving to them, then you're better off just not having that person around you or in your life. You know, this is all about I don't want to say boundaries, but this is just all about, you know, commitments, and where your commitments lie and where your loyalty lies with people. You know, I feel like this was a bit of a hard lesson for you, because you really thought that you could trust this person or these people, you know, because you loved them and you cared about them, you know, and you really thought that you could trust them, and maybe even part of you thought that maybe you could change them, you know, because you were understanding to a lot of things that they were going through, because you possibly, you know, saw a lot of yourself in them, and you wish someone would have done what you did for them. But a lot of this pain, you know, the whole purpose behind this pain is to realize, you know, you do need to see things at face value. You know, and when someone tells you who they are, shows you who they are, you need to trust that, and you need to believe that. You know, you need to not be so insistent and so stubborn that, no, like, you can change, you can grow, you know, and be a cheerleader for them and want to see them, you know, do so much, you know, more. Like, they have to want that. And if they don't want it, it's not your responsibility to make them want it. Okay. So with the 10 of Pentacles here at the very end, I feel like a lot of this pain is just building, not only building character, but it's building a lot of growth too. It's building a lot of success, and it's also helping you see your huge heart as a benefit instead of a deficit, because maybe you feel at the moment that you hate how big your heart is, and you hate that you loved so much, and you hate that you gave this person a chance when they really didn't deserve it. But honestly, that's what makes you so beautiful. And honestly, that's what benefits you, you know? So as far as forgiveness goes, I'm not telling you to forgive them right away, because that's just not how emotions work. But as far as forgiveness, like, you really need to forgive the situation, you know, more than anything. You know, I will let you choose and decide if you want to forgive, you know, that person, because I know that takes time and strength. But as far as forgiveness goes, you know, maybe, you know, starting with forgiving yourself and just looking at everything from a different and higher point of view, you know? You know, consider everything that has happened and run from there. Okay. That is all I have for you today, my pile threes. I have so much love for you, so much compassion and empathy. I am here for you whenever you need me. I really hope that this gave you a sense of comfort, clarity, you know, helpfulness in any way. I really hope it did. With that said, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment if you feel called to do so. If you ever feel as though that you need a friend, I am a friend to everyone. Otherwise, I wouldn't, you know, do what I do. I'm not sure if you can message through YouTube, but if you can and you need somebody, please do not hesitate to message me or say something if you feel called to do so. Also, if any of this did resonate, I would love to hear from you. Please comment down below if you feel, like I said, if you feel called to do so. And I will see you in the next video, my beautiful Pile 3s. So much love to you. Hugs to you. Bye.